So you want to get good at Counter-Strike extremely quickly? Well, you're in the right place, because in this video, I'm taking my knowledge of what makes a good CS player to skyrocket you through the ranks, whether you play with friends or solo queue. If you're not sure you can trust me, I'm Louis, a 3000 ELO player on Faceit, and I play internationally with Team USA at LAN events around the world. I've included timestamps in the description below, so you can skip ahead or revisit any tip that you like. So if you want to get good fast, one of the best ways is to find a playstyle. Finding a playstyle will keep you really consistent in game. And if we think of certain pro players, like let's say Donk, for example, he's known for his aggression. He's constantly fighting, he's constantly taking duels, he's wide swinging, and this is where he is really comfortable, because this is where he finds his consistency. Now, if we think of a player also like Nico, he's more of a passive player who tends to lurk on, depending whatever map it is. Let's say on Mirage, he likes to go towards Palace or Underpass, and he's taking a lot more solo duels and playing in the late rounds, because this is where he finds his comfort. Now, if you notice something about the top players, they have a consistent playstyle that they've mastered, and this is something that you guys need to find as well. If you do find your comfort, you're going to find your playstyle, and this is going to help your consistency rise. Now, when you do find your playstyle, it's going to help you get into the game, and it's also going to keep your stats consistent, because you're going to find what works for you and what doesn't work. So if you're someone that wants to play like Donk and you try to fight constantly in mid on Mirage and you keep dying, maybe you're someone who's more of an anchor and you find your success anchoring on the A site. But if you don't know how to find your playstyle, all you have to do is just look at your favorite player and try to mimic them. It could be someone like Donk, Munacy, Magisk, or even an IGL like Kerrigan, and mimic where they play in game, the certain reactions they make when certain things happen around the map, and the plays they make that may involve small support from their teammates. Doing this will not only help you learn and master your playstyle, but it also improves your game sense, because you're subconsciously reacting to pressure on the map. So in this match, it was Falcons versus Furia, and Magisk is going to nade up on A. Now, he is known as a really good anchor, because if you guys remember the time in Astralis, they had their era where they won 3 majors in a row. So he knows that he wants to play a little close, so he's going to nade dump. You're going to notice on the map that Furia is going to start to take mid. Now, with this reaction, Magisk knows that if they are taking mid on Mirage, majority of T's are going to be in mid. There's going to be at least 3 or 4, so he's going to expect at least 1 person here. Now, in order to help his team, he's going to clear ramp with a flash from Dexter that is playing towards triple, and he's going to get all this information, which helps solidify these guys over on B, that it's probably a high chance that the round is going to end towards B. And you're going to see Kixin is actually going to play for this by playing up on Balk, and Tessus is even here ready to react, which sets his team up for the win. Now, if you guys watch this and mimic what these players are doing like Magisk just did, you're going to help your team win a lot of rounds. Even if you are in solo queue and you decide that you want to play these anchor positions, you can give comms to your teammates like, hey guys, since they are on mid, I just took ramp, there's nothing in ramp, get ready towards B, and that's going to help you guys win a lot more rounds inside of Counter-Strike. Next, we're going to talk about the most important thing you can do to actually improve your aim in CS2, but first, let me tell you about the Monkey. Skins Monkey is a CS2 skins trading site marketplace that provides an instant way to get new skins. My favorite thing about Skins Monkey is that I can trade skins that I no longer want and trade it for a skin that is equal value. If you use code LouisCS2, you get a $5 bonus on your first trade, and if you want to buy skins, you can get a 30% deposit bonus plus an extra 5% using my code. The link is down in the description. Thank you, Skins Monkey, for sponsoring this video. Now, something else that you can do is form an aim routine. Now, when I say aim routine, I don't mean just DM 100 kills every day. I'm talking about an actual training routine. You can't get good at something without training the fundamentals, and aim is definitely a good fundamental of training. Think off the top of your head, when you aim, what do you struggle with? It could be flicks, it could be tracking, maybe even simply just spraying at enemies. You need to study your own gameplay and find out your weaknesses, and once you do that, you can now build your aim routine. But most importantly, you need to stick to the routine and do it every single day. Now, there are some workshop maps out there that can help you, but you don't need to stick to CS to only train your aim. There are great aim trainers out there like Kovacs, Aim Labs, and even Aim Beast. There's workshops on these aim trainers that are tailored towards certain weaknesses. So if you want to practice flicking, tracking, whatever it is, even trying to shoot moving targets, there will be playlists tailored for what your weaknesses are. Now, since we're talking about aim, I also have to mention movement. Movement is very important in Counter-Strike, because if you don't have good movement, you're not going to have aim at all, because counter strafing actually makes your bullets go straight. And I see a lot of newbie players not really understand how to counter strafe. So it's really important that you guys really hone down on the fundamental of counter strafing. There's a lot of newer players that will be swinging out while holding 2 keys like W and A or W and D, and this is really bad because it makes your character a lot slower. So one thing that you guys need to do is really practice clearing angles in an offline server, or even just a simple pre-fire map, which I can link down in the description, so you guys can actually go practice swinging in game. And then when you get into an actual game in either matchmaking or faceit, or maybe you're in a scrim or a match, you're able to swing at the fastest speed possible. And I've made videos about movement in the past, so you guys can go check those out if you're looking for any movement tricks on how to swing faster than normal. But one thing that you guys need to do is work on this fundamental, and the more you work on this, the more you'll you'll notice that your bullets will actually be going where you're putting your crosshair on the enemy. Now, some of you guys watching this video might only be solo queue players, or maybe you're just faceit level 10s trying to get into FPL and looking for every tip in the book to get ahead of your opponent. Now, solo queuing can only get you so far, which is why you need to find a team. I got good at CS very fast because I found a team of people who wanted to grind. When I say grind, I don't mean we were only grinding pugs. We were constantly in the server together, finding lineups, setups, protocols, reactions, and everything else we thought was missing. Having teammates that hold you accountable for mistakes will only help you improve faster, because some days you may be feeling lazy, but with teammates, you're doing a lot of work because you don't want to let them down, and you also want to be a good teammate. One strength I got from being on a team that not many players ever have the ability to do was to always be the solutions guy. And what I mean by that is if a team was destroying us in a scrim or a match by doing a certain default or execute, I was the guy with a solution that would form the start of the round, which would hopefully give us a round win and be a good counter. If it wasn't for my team, I probably wouldn't have put in the work to study the game and understand how different teams were playing. Now, I'm not saying you need to be the guy with the solutions, but maybe you become the guy who needs to survive in the late rounds, so you become really good at clutching, or maybe you guys never know what to do mid-round, so you become a good mid-round caller. Now, a lot of you guys think CS is all aim, which is somewhat true because your aim can get you out of a lot of weird situations. But what if I told you there's a way to not be in weird situations? Now, when people think of star players, you think of someone who has insane aim like Donk or Nico, or even Munacy with the op. But a lot of people wouldn't think about a player like Flusha. Flusha was good during his time as a pro because of his game sense, and a lot of people even thought he was cheating at some points. With his insane game sense, he could position himself in situations where he didn't have to aim at all. He just had to click mouse 1 to shoot the person in his crosshair, which is why positioning is so important. A lot of people don't have the insane talent of mechanical aiming and may struggle a lot, but if you're trying to get good at CS super fast, you need to position yourself in spots where you can rely on your crosshair placement. Now, crosshair placement is something that you have to get good at, but it's very easy. A lot of pros like Bit, for example, have lineups of where to put their crosshair in their favorite positions. On Inferno, when Bit is playing on Balk, he has a lineup to where he needs to put his crosshair that meets the head level of someone running out of apps. Some of you guys might think it's useless, but this also helps him in other situations. Let's say, for example, he gets in an uncomfortable situation where he may get blind when he's playing on Balk, because Hall's pops are very popular on Inferno. Now, you probably expect that he would just die because he's blind or even spray and pray, but since he knows where his crosshair is and he knows that it is on head level, all he has to do is press mouse 1 and kill the T's running out of apps without needing to even see his crosshair. So once I started playing against the top NA teams, I had this thought in my head that they knew everything that I was doing, which puts me at a big disadvantage. Now, a lot of you guys probably have the same mindset when playing against someone that may be a higher rank than you, but look at one of my recent matches. This is in a HLTV match. It was ESEA Advanced Playoffs, and whoever wins this gets to play in the qualifier game for ECL Challenger League. Now, this strat, we literally have no money, but our teammate Jared here, he calls that the other team will rotate very quickly, so he decides he wants to sell a fake and have us walk A when we literally just have pistols. So with his confidence, he's literally going to jump out, and in his head, he's not thinking, wow, they know that this is the fake, they know what we're doing. You can literally see on the map that they're all leaving A and going towards B, when it's literally just one person playing on this side of the map, and we have the A bomb site for free. We're literally planning with Glocks. You can see I have a Glock right here. My teammate in mid even has a Glock. And we actually win this round just because my teammate didn't think, oh, they're going to think that this is a fake. I don't know if this is going to work. He had full confidence and understanding of the round, and it actually did work. So make sure you guys aren't putting yourself at a disadvantage thinking that the other team always knows what you're going to do, because if you do have full confidence in your thoughts, knowing that the other team actually has no idea what you are doing, then you're going to be winning a lot more rounds and you're going to be improving a lot faster with this mindset. Now, another mindset shift that you guys need to have is that you need to play every single game like it's your last. And honestly, I'm speaking more towards the NA player base, because a lot of NA players just play the game to play and not even try to win, which also hurts other people that may be actually trying to rise up in the ranks. So if you actually put forth some effort and actually try to win the game, call some rounds, call some setups, you're going to notice a big difference, not only in just winning games, but also in the mindset of your teammates. Because if you get someone that is trying on your team and you also contribute, they're going to even try harder because they see that you're also trying to win. So if you're someone who is playing Faceit, or maybe you're in the higher ranks of Premier and you're trying to get that nice gold rank, make sure that you are trying and motivate your teammates to also put forth a little effort. And if they're not, don't be afraid to just forget about them and just bait them, but always make sure that you are trying, especially if you are from North America. If this video helped you, make sure to check out this video on how to improve your positioning in CS2.